What's going on, nation? Today I'm going to share with you guys 4 tips to help you build a bigger upper chest. Now, a big chest is something that every man wants. It shows people that you lift and you know what you're doing. But unfortunately, not everybody can obtain a massive chest, especially in the upper area. And it can be for a bunch of different reasons. Genetics can play a role in this as well, but we can always improve what you've got as long as you train smart. And so before we get started, I want to link to you guys a few videos. The first video is 4 tips to help you guys get more lower chest growth. So it's going to be a good video for you guys to watch after this one's over. And the second video is going to be my reverse barbell bench press versus the incline barbell bench press, because I know a lot of you guys are going to be wondering why I didn't put the incline barbell bench press in this video for the upper chest. And that one goes more in depth comparing the 2 exercises. Also, guys, if you haven't already, be sure to turn on video notifications so you know exactly when I do a new video upload. And before this video really gets started, I'm sure you guys are wondering what's going on with my left arm over here. And before you guys start saying it's the chicken pox or I'm shooting up juice or whatever, it's actually from a really cool project I did. Well, it was painful. Really cool project I did last week with Warner Brothers. I can't talk about it yet. It's still on the DL, but once I get the information, I'll be able to show it to you guys. So keep up with me on Facebook and Instagram, and you'll get all the details and know exactly when this is going to be explained. All right, guys, so tip number 1 is you want to make sure you're starting off your chest workout with a heavy compound lift that's going to target the upper chest, and that's where the reverse bench press comes in. Now guys, you just got to the gym, you're fresh, you're gonna be able to lift a shitload of weight, so you wanna make sure that you're utilizing an exercise that's really gonna put growth on areas you wanna target. So make sure you have a spotter, and if you have a hard time with this exercise as well, maybe you feel unsafe doing it, you're new to it, it might be a good idea for you to do this exercise in a power rack, because a power rack will have some arms that will come out on the sides that will allow you to drop the barbell on those just in case you happen to fail. But I'm just doing a demonstration, so I'm going to use this bench right here. So guys, for this exercise, I want you doing 3 to 4 sets of 8 to 10 repetitions, really pushing yourself as hard as you can. And if you can get a spotter to help you with some forced repetitions on the last 2 sets, that would be really helpful as well. You want to pre-exhaust that chest, specifically targeting the upper portion as much as possible. Now to perform this movement, guys, you want to make sure you have proper form. So what you're going to do is grab a nice wide grip. I take my pinkies, I put them on the rings right here. That lets me know that I'm outside of shoulder width. Grab the barbell as tight as you can. Make sure your hands are nice and tight on the bar. And then once in place, you're going to tuck your elbows in. And see that little movement I did? I'm not just bringing the bar down like this, guys. Tucking my elbows in. This is going to make the world of difference. Once they're tucked in, the wrists are straight. Then you're going to bring it down just below your chest like this. Press back up over your chest, flexing that upper chest as you press it. Nice tight squeeze, and repeat for reps just like this. Tip number 2 is you want to make sure you're not turning this movement into a tricep movement, okay? Coming in the gym, your goal is to hit that upper chest. If you're coming in, doing the exercise wrong because you're using too much weight or you just don't know proper form, then you're defeating the whole purpose of targeting that upper chest for growth, all right? And what I see happens a lot actually with this exercise, and mainly because it's not a common exercise you see people doing. So unless you're watching my YouTube videos and you've seen proper form with this movement, and you just go to the gym and copy other people, everybody's doing it wrong. And it starts this whole cycle of people doing the exercise wrong, which isn't good. But let's go over the key points again, okay? So we just said pinky on the ring on each side, just like this. Get a nice tight grip. Lift the barbell up, tuck those elbows in, bring it down to your chest, and then press back up over your chest. Now, what tends to happen as people start to get fatigued is a few different things. The first thing that usually goes is the elbows aren't tucked in anymore. They start to fray out like this. Then as soon as the elbows start to fray out like this, it makes it really difficult to bring the barbell to here and then press it back up with a lot of weight because you're putting a ton of tension in your wrist. Your wrist will actually start to hurt when this happens. So the way you compensate for that is your elbows are out, your wrists hurt, so you start benching lower. And by benching lower, it's taking less pressure off of your wrist. But what is this doing? It's turning this almost into a reverse press for triceps where you're benching over your torso like this and pushing straight up over your torso because your elbows are flared out and you're bringing it down much lower. The exercise is supposed to look like this. Elbows in, down to your chest, keep those elbows in, press up over your chest. It's not supposed to look like that. Two totally different exercises. So, when performing this movement, guys, make sure that you're not turning it into a tricep movement. Keep all the focus on the chest. If you have to lower the weight, maybe you want a little too heavy, that's cool. Just re-rack the weight, get up, take some weight off, and get back down. It's totally okay to do that. Serious. Tip number 3 is that you guys want to make sure that you're finishing your workout with a single joint movement that also targets the upper portion of your chest. That's because at this point in time, we're finishing the workout, but we're trying to get more upper chest growth. So before we leave the gym, we want to make sure that we annihilate as many muscle fibers in this area as possible to get the maximum amount of growth out of our workout. And for this exercise, guys, as well, make sure you're doing 2 to 3 sets of 8 to 10 repetitions. And the perfect exercise to target the upper chest is the low to high cable fly. To perform this movement, guys, what I like to do is I don't put the cables all the way down. Just because they can go all the way down, I don't put them all the way down. I feel more comfortable one peg up. It's just for how tall I am and the range of motion of the machine. So play with that. Don't be just putting them all the way down every single time. Now, to perform the movement, what you're going to do is step forward so that the weights aren't touching the racks. And then once in place, keep a slight bend in your knees. And then what you're going to do is keep a slight bend in your elbows. And you're going to bring your hands out in front of you just like this. And you guys can see my upper chest is puffing up as I do this movement. Come back down, control the negative. Go back as far as you can. And again, come up nice and high and really focus on that squeeze in the upper chest. This exercise doesn't require a lot of weight, and if you tend to use too much weight, you're not going to target the area as best as you can. So, all the way up, squeeze that upper chest, and then all the way down. And the last tip, guys, tip number 4, is you want to make sure that when you're doing the low to high cable fly, that you're actually targeting your upper chest and not just bringing biceps and anterior deltoids into the movement. And this happens a lot. I see it with beginners and I see it with advanced workout guys in the gym too, okay? What you end up seeing is they put on too much weight for that area, and because the weight's too heavy, you have to compensate. And what usually happens when you compensate for weight that's too heavy is you start doing a lot of really stupid shit in the gym. And on this exercise, you see this. Instead of having a slight bend in the elbows, you have a full bend in the elbows, and then you have a staggered stance like this, and then you see this happening. And they come up like this. And they think that just because they're moving the weight up and down, that they're targeting their chest. But what are you really doing here, guys? You're hitting a lot of bicep, you're getting a lot of bicep stimulation, and you're basically doing a reverse front raise where you're hitting your palms facing in, not targeting the upper chest. This exercise, like I just said, does not require a lot of weight. And if you guys know, mind-muscle connection is very important. You should, at some point, be able to lift a good amount of weight doing this exercise, but you have to keep one thing in mind on every single repetition. It's a slight bend in the elbow, and as you come up, if you don't feel that chest puff up at the top of this movement, then chances are you're not contracting your chest. To build muscle, you have to fully stretch and fully contract or fully shorten the muscle in order to see growth. If you're doing this, it's not stretching and shortening as much as it can. You guys can see that. If you do this way, all the way down, and then all the way up, you see my muscle shortening. It looks like I have some nice cleavage right here. You might want to dive right in through the camera. I don't know, but you could if you were here with me. Erica might. She's holding the camera.
I'm dying to dive right now.
So at the end of the day, guys, I know I talk about it all the time. Proper form is key. You want more upper chest growth, start with a compound lift. Make sure you're doing it right, and then finish with a single joint movement that also targets the upper chest, and you will see growth in 4 to 6 weeks, I promise. So be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and as always, more good stuff coming soon. See you guys.